everyone, and welcome back to the Honest Money podcast. In our first episode, we spoke to a newly married couple, and today we are fast forwarding 30 years. I'm pleased to welcome Col and Mrs Kochhar to today's episode. After nearly 40 years of service to our nation, raising a family together, and now stepping into retirement, they're a couple that has seen it all. I'm super excited to talk to them and get into the nitty-gritties of how do you really manage money in a relationship that lasts decades. So come, let's dive right into it.
So thank you first of all for speaking with me, and obviously, I'm very excited to talk to both of you. So what we are doing is we're talking to couples across different stages of life. So we're talking to somebody who's just gotten married. We're talking to somebody who's just started dating, and we want to see like how do they address money. We talked to somebody who has just had twin boys. So they're very just in their early on. So they've been married for 10 years, but just had kids. So they're in a very different stage of life. And then we of course wanted to talk to people who like yourselves, who are at a different stage where the kids are settled, you're enjoying your retirement. Want to see how different couples at different stages of life manage money. And so we'd love to hear from you, because obviously money is such a big driving force in any relationship, right? And it is, it's kind of sad also, but like almost 60 to 70% of problems in relationships happen because of money, like including my relationship with my husband, my parents. I've seen that is such a common thing that happens very regularly. And so I would love to hear from you. But before we dive deep, would love to know about you, like how long have you been married? When did you meet? Let's start with that and then we'll dive deep.
I think this part, I'll give it to her to.
Okay. We've been married for 31 years now. And we did meet through relatives. And ours was not exactly a love marriage, but yes, he knew my people and I knew his people. And the very crucial thing was that when we got married, he had no money. That's how I began with it. Even for going for a honeymoon, he borrowed 5,000 rupees from a friend. Yes.
How interesting. Yes. And so how was it? So obviously, coming when you've not dated and when you directly got married, it was obviously so many new things that you get to know about the other person, right? It's like suddenly you live with a brand new person. So how was it discovering? Obviously, marriage comes with so many different challenges, but when it came to specifically about money, Auntie, did you come with like your own mindset, and then, Uncle must have had his own mindset. How did that kind of work?
Actually, even I was working. I was in a government job, and I was pretty happy with whatever I was getting because, as a spinster, that money was good enough for me. But then back in those days, I think we were really grilled that your real house is your husband's house, and, like professionally, even if you were qualified, making a home and being a homemaker was the priority.
Yeah.
And I don't think even for a day we felt it's my money and his money. I really want to stress this point. Like nowadays when I see couples, younger couples, they always have my money, your money, and finances also, since women are handling finances equally now. Back those days, I think we had a taboo of not handling money immediately when you are in a relationship. Now, of course, I know what his finances are and we do discuss and do things. But then we sailed through very, very smoothly. Like I knew whatever he'll get, I have to make it with that. And it was comfortable.
Yeah. So right from the beginnings, Auntie, you said like you were also working, and obviously, Uncle, you had your army, you were in the army and you had the income coming in. But were you always like joint, always pooling in your money together and all expenses were done together?
No, you say that.
See, we decided we are getting 2 salaries. So we'll live in with 1 salary and 1 will not touch.
My salary was never spent.
So that was one part which was a great saving for us. Second was that there was no holidaying concept which we see in today's date. No luxuries of that sort. At the most, free wallet, go to your house, or you can go to your in-laws' house, or maybe, some relative. Otherwise, we were stuck to our own houses.
Yeah.
So those kind of things, they helped us a lot. And then these kind of exposure which we see today, they were not there. It was all very limited.
Yeah.
You want to go to a movie, we had Army Picture Hall.
Correct.
You want to go for a club, we had our own club.
Yeah.
Things like that. So that added a lot. And then we had our own community to move around. So that makes a lot of difference.
Not luxury, but we had a good life because lifestyle in the army helped us live
compensated
like
for everything, right? Yeah, because
Yes.
I think the salary itself was not as high as say it was even back then in the civil,
Yes.
but then everything
One
else
more-
kind of made up for it.
Yes.
And one more thing that, since we talk about our days when we got married, I'll go a little back also. Because we all were refugees from Pakistan to India. So our finances were not there at all. They came with liabilities. So we never got into that habit of, spending extra money anywhere. And which continued in that age till date.
Right. Is that
Our
habit that
people
came with
insisting
you?
that
Yeah.
we go holidaying, we should go out. We still don't know what should we buy. We got everything.
Like
So-
we laugh at each other going to have coffee at Starbucks is such a taboo. I tell him I can't go and have that expensive a coffee. I can make better coffee, and just the luxury of it doesn't come to us naturally.
Right. But that's very different now, right? Because now
That's
obviously you
different
enjoy,
now.
you're
That's
like
different.
traveling every
That's
month. So it's
different
very
now. Yes.
different stage of
And
life.
another part was that, we bought only which was very necessary. Because she was the one who was taking care of everything. I was at my job. So we never felt need of anything which was extravagant or we were missing it. So with that, we are able to put our kids in good schools. We are able to manage our finances. And today's date, the basic aim that we must have our own house, we have our house. So those kind of liabilities are not there. So pension, what we have is totally to us. Fortunately, kids are well placed. We got no issues for them, and we are reasonably comfortable.
Yeah. It's just, I think I want to really dig deeper into this that, despite the fact that the army salaries were low, this only changed after what 7th Pay Commission came in, where army salaries became better, and slightly comparable to the outside world. Like salaries were really low. But despite that, all of you, my parents and everybody else have managed to achieve all your goals, yet live a great life and now are continuing to live such a fantastic retirement life. Like how? And our generation right now, and even like the Gen Zs, are really struggling day to day. And I think one thing is obviously that Gen Zs, the cost of living has increased significantly. So we have to give it to them. It's not the same as it was 20 years ago. But is it really that mindset piece? How is it that you have done everything, but we are struggling so much?
My take is only one that, there is so much of branding in everything now. We didn't have that. Like there were very minimum brands, very minimum kind of things. When you went to buy something, the taboo of not buying a particular brand wasn't there. Like utility was the basic thing. We didn't want to go and buy the next level thing. Like now, children change their phones even if they are working. But our generation, unless the phone drops or breaks or is not working, we'll not upgrade it.
Earlier the brands were on fingertips. You want to buy a scooter, you got Lambretta Vespa.
Correct.
Then came Bajaj Bauli. When you talk about car, you had a Fiat and Ambassador. And then came Maruti. And now there is no dearth of anything.
Right.
Aspirations of people are very high. They want to go for the best. Probably the peer group pressure also forces them to go in that.
Pressure.
They want to go to a lavish restaurant, whether they have money or not.
Yeah.
The credit card has become a big liability.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, spot
Okay.
on with all of these issues. And it just, it's very scary because it basically means that when we retire, we will not be able to enjoy the lifestyle that you are enjoying. You will not have a mortgage-free house, which is going to be our house, at least for a lot of us. We'll not be able to afford monthly vacations or every 2 months vacations, especially foreign vacations. Like that's the aspiration, but it's not like you put off everything till later. You were enjoying your life even before retirement.
Yes.
So I think it was that
Yes.
balance that you achieved.
Point is very simple, Probably we never realize that our life is tough. Nobody gives you, in a platter something to enjoy. So our life, we got used to it, and we had the so-called freebies or goodies which reduced our expenditure to some extent.
Yeah.
Then we remained in a healthy atmosphere, in an open environment.
Right.
That kept us physically healthy.
Yeah.
Which you see nowadays, the doctors, you go to a doctor, his consultation fees is $500,000.
Correct.
Whereas we have that kind of a, you name a thing, we had a saving everywhere.
Yeah.
That makes, and so we could think of our future, that how our kids should come up, what funds we should have when we retire, how we have to pull on.
So one thing which, like we both were very clear that we have to invest somewhere in land. He was very clear. He said, whatever the first savings we'll make, we'll buy a piece of land somewhere and then we'll keep rotating so that, we have some extra money whenever we are stuck. So that helped us a lot.
Okay.
In initial, I think 3 or 4 years only, we had invested in a small plot, and then we sold it off for a much higher, money, and then we kept rotating that plot, and that helped us.
And let me admit on that our finances changed after I got married, because she has been very lucky for me as far as land is concerned. So whenever I take anything of her name, I get returns.
Amazing. Beautiful. So the impression I get is you're very aligned in terms of your thought process when it came to say investments or even children's education. Did you always feel that you were always both very in tune with each other, or were there ever conflicts in terms of no, I should do this, no, we should not be doing this?
Finances, we never had any kind of confrontation because our things were very clear. I take my office job's care, rest all is her. So whatever decision she takes is acceptable to me without a query, without a question. Because I knew it that she has never taken a wrong decision till date.
Amazing, beautiful.
All his money came to me. He never said it's my money. He never asked me, "Kahan kharch rahe ho? Kaise kharch rahe ho?" Never ever.
That's
never happened.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I never told her what I am putting in my DSOP.
Yeah, I never asked him what you're saving.
One of my officers when I was a youngster, he said, if you can manage your expenditure in a salary, when the DA increases, why should you use that?
Correct.
Why don't you put that in DSOP?
Correct.
Which I continue till my retirement.
Yeah. And I think, Uncle, you touch upon a very important point. That's the piece of lifestyle inflation. So people who are watching this video, for them, they don't get DSOPs. So for them, DSOP is equivalent to the Provident Fund, and the DA increases are like the annual salary increases that they get. But the point and the concept is exactly the same, that when your salary increases or you get a bonus, why are our lifestyle increases, spending increasing also? So all of that could essentially just go into your additional savings. So I think you hit on a very crucial point of lifestyle inflation.
And
But expensive bhi bahut ho gaya sab kuch. Things are so expensive.
Yes, true.
And your generation, you people are facing a lot of peer pressure.
Yeah.
Both of you are working, both the couples are working, and still, managing things is not that easy for a big chunk of people.
Correct.
It is.
For a lot of people in Gen Z right now, affording a house is going to be almost impossible with the rate that the houses are. It's going to be impossible in a tier 1 city.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I fully agree with you, because nowadays, I'll give you a very simple example. We came to Mau from Bareilly, though I had gone to Bareilly on my last motion to settle down there. Somehow I didn't get what I wanted, so we shifted to Mau. The piece of land, we bought an agricultural piece of land which we got it diverted to residential. It costed me 250 rupees square feet. It is just about 5-6 years. It has gone to 1600 to 2000.
Wow.
6 times.
Wow.
The land around us is now 6 times. Who will buy? People who were with us 6 years back, they are still.
So if this is happening in Mau,
Then imagine Mumbai, Bangalore, we are priced out already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we have been here in the US for now almost 12 years, and I sometimes think that should we buy a house? We bought a house here. Sometimes I think, should we buy a house in, say, Gurgaon or Bangalore? I don't think I can afford it. It is exorbitant. Like the kind of house I would like to buy is nothing less than 4-5 CR. Yes, you have some houses in say 1-2 CR also, but then even that feels very expensive with the interest rates and everything. So it's a reality for a lot of Gen Zs and millennials, and then obviously for my daughter's generation when they grow up, it's going to be very hard. But tell me, what about your goals, for example? So one goal is obviously, for people is retirement, which you manage that is going on. Your other goals at this point of time would be, say, I'm guessing children's education is taken care of. I'm getting children's marriage.
Yeah.
What would be some of the money goals that you have right now that you're thinking about?
I have invested money in a manner that the day my daughter has to get married, I don't have to run around anyway.
Amazing.
It is like, I'll just quote one example. Though it was forced upon me when I got retired, I never wanted that insurance, but that was market link. Now the maturity is over. I'm going to get the money next year. So the money which I get should be sufficient for her marriage.
That you have a target in mind, taken care of.
And let's say it still didn't materialize. I still put it in either in FD or somewhere so that it's readily available. I do not have to run around anyway.
Yeah.
No, and the piece of land that I said, that has been, we've never used that. Like first we bought it in Greater Noida, which really gave us good benefits. Then sometimes, we got less than what we invested, sometimes more, but we still have a piece of land in a very commercial place where we know that if we are short of money, we'll immediately sell that.
You have that, yeah. So did you think when you were doing these investments and say purchasing land, did you do it with a perspective that, okay, this is for this purpose, this is for,
Absolutely.
The land was always for daughter's wedding.
You got it with that
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Well, the plan was very simple. After every 3 years, I must get this much of amount. So that gets rotated. For example, I retired in 2015. So I knew it for next 10 years. I will not eat money for the marriage of my children.
Correct. Because obviously kids were young that time. Yeah, you're not
Now,
thinking about marriage.
for example, I get something which matured this year. I can recycle it on yearly basis because I have created my corpus for that. It's just a question of recreation of that, a reinvestment of that for a year's time, 2 years, 3 years. I don't go for long investment now, keeping our own health, our own age factor in mind. I don't look for long-term gains now because we have over that age. That is meant for the youngsters.
Yeah.
They can go for 30 years of insurance or mutual funds, and I don't invest in high-risk investments. I go for the what do we call it, debit funds or something?
Debt funds, yeah.
Liquid funds, yeah. I am very content with 7-8%, pay tax, you still get 6%, but that money is comfortable.
Yeah.
It's going to be with me. But if the market crashes and my money goes in that, I cannot take that.
Yeah.
So that is one great factor for me, that I will not invest money where I had to lose sometime.
Even social media sometimes I feel has a great impact in this generation because everybody is flaunting only the good and the celebration kind of things on the social media.
Very true.
Nobody says that, oh my God, we planned a holiday and now on the 20th of the month we don't even have food to eat. Nobody ever puts that. People want to copy, like when you are young, everybody wants to enjoy, and when you see your peers enjoying, you also want to enjoy. And that pressure on each other to enjoy, and that's why so many people are not even having babies now, like young children, because they feel it's a big responsibility. Kaise hoga? So social media has impacted.
No, the youngsters, they must enjoy, but they must learn to enjoy within their resources, not limits. They should not go overboard.
Enjoyment is not always going to a very fancy or expensive place. Like we've enjoyed our life. We've no regrets at all. But for us, maybe he would sit in the lawn and say, "Aaj tray mein ticozi rakh ke, chai rakh ke mangwao yahan."
Because that's something different, right? It feels the experience of it.
So you don't spend money, but then you're still happy that you did something which got you happiness. So children have to understand this also, that everybody cannot go to Switzerland and Vietnam within your 3 years of wedding. Maybe after 10 years of wedding, 20 years of wedding, you can plan. But initially, you have to curtail there also. You have to tell yourself.
There's a very interesting line I heard, that you can have everything, just not at the same time. You just have to space it out.
See, you plan something, like you said, what were your goals and how you were achieving it. For example, I have a goal that I want to go for a Europe trip. I want to cover the entire Europe. So we work out the expenditure, probably it costs me 25 lakh, 30 lakh. So I must cater for that corpus first and then plan for that. Plus another 20% of escalation. Because what today I am working out, after 5 years or 10 years, it may not be same.
100%,
So that you don't have any pressure, you enjoy and come back and still you are comfortable.
100%.
It's very important.
So I think coming back to the two of you, so it feels like you both have always been very aligned in terms of money and these decision makings and goals and generally financial planning. But was there anything ever that you thought, that you found out about the other person, that you were like, oh, I didn't know this when it comes to money, like say maybe spending habits or saving habits or wasting money? Was there anything that was kind of a sore point?
No. There was never a sore point.
In fact, there was an other way to it. He kept telling me when I retired, I took premature retirement because of children, and I got a meager amount of maybe a few thousand. And he always kept telling me, buy gold. But I told him I don't need. So I never bought gold. Now I regret that I should have bought. Look at the gold prices now.
That's always, hindsight is always 2020. So no point looking back.
See, point is, whatever is gone is a history. What is going to be happening in future, I don't know. So if I cannot enjoy my present, what's the use of thinking future and talking about the past? So one should live for today, plan for tomorrow, and forget about yesterday.
Very true.
Then you can have a very, very comfortable saving.
Yeah. Who's the bigger spender between the two of you?
None.
Nobody, really.
Our kids.
Our kids are. No, they also don't actually. They also don't.
Interesting. And if you had to say, for example, for both of your kids, now I'm going to ask you, say one advice that you would give to them for their youth, right? So that's one. What is that one lesson that they should know? And the second would be when they find their partners, then what is that one advice for them and their partners that you would give to them?
First is that you must save for tomorrow. And saving doesn't come in a day's time. It is like a drop of water which you keep on collecting and it gets filled. You cannot have your complete salary. You have to enjoy, you have to work, you have to save, everything you have to do. So that balancing is must in this day.
Yeah.
Even when you invest money in the market, you should first have a complete knowledge of that. And you should be mentally prepared to lose certain amount and don't get a shock. And second is, now when we talk about the partner, I think our days are over. The girl must have something of her own always on her name.
Yes.
This is very, very important.
And I also, with my own experience, I'll say that women and men, the gender bias is no more there. So both of them should sit together, understand where to invest, how to invest, and they should always, agree comfortably on one thing.
Yeah.
Like even if there's a dispute or even if, one doesn't agree, the other can get flexible and, some mutual ground, they should. And secondly, they should never say my money, your money. This concept, it's always bringing conflicts. When you're getting married, you're becoming two, physically, mentally, like if girls even change surnames for that matter. Even if they don't, bachche ka naam to father ke surname se chal raha hai. So we accept that. We all accept that in India especially. So they should always say that this money, this is our money, total money. And then, think about investing, spending. That will help in a healthy relationship and that will be peaceful for the marital harmony.
And second point is that this aspect of finances should also be discussed when the girl and boy meet in today's day, how they're going to plan their finances so that they do not have this, which leads to a bad taste later part of life.
100%, yeah.
Nothing should come as a jolt at a later part, as a shock, कि ये तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं था यार, this can also happen.
That shock happened to me once when we were newly married. The first salary that came, they used to get a pay slip. Paper would come wherein, how much is your basic and things like that. He wasn't home. So the clerk, he gave an envelope and said, Sir ka pay slip hai. So I said, okay. I opened it, So I opened it and I saw it had the salary which had come was minus 43. I said, minus 43 rupees? And those days we didn't have mobiles. We used to go to STD to call our parents. So when he came, I just gave him that and I said nothing. So evening I told him, I want to go and speak to my parents. He said, okay. So the first thing I asked my mother was, did you check if he's an officer? I said, kiski aate hain 40 rupees salary?
Minus 40.
Minus 40. So
See,
yes,
point is,
there were days like that also.
Wow.
It's very bad luck that she saw the that payslip in the month of March. Now they used to collect or deduct the tentative tax. And final, they work out at the end of the year, they would collect the balance of the tax.
They deducted.
So they deducted everything.
Oh man. So Auntie opened it up in the wrong month. But Auntie, I think even as a young Fauji officer, even then the salary was only about 500 rupees or something at that point of time, I'm guessing.
Our basic was, when we joined, it was 750 rupees basic.
Okay.
And total gross pay was about 931 rupees.
And this is 1984 when you started, right?
84.
Like that was when you committed.
86 the pay commission came, so our salary came to 2,225 rupees.
That's a big jump. That was like doubling the salary.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
And in service also, when a person became captain to major, we used to feel very happy. We used to get a rank pay. So it used to jump from 200 to 600. That used to be a big jump. Yeah.
I mean, looking back, these sound so unbelievable, na? These numbers.
Hundreds में बात कर रहे हैं.
Hundreds में बात कर रहे हैं. और आपकी Starbucks की कॉफी 500 की है.
Actually, सच्ची.
And then came the year 2006.
Yes.
The 6th pay commission. That gave us a jump.
Correct.
And our quality of life improved.
Correct.
But we cannot say why we were still, with that little money also we were happy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then we were happy because we had no liabilities.
Yeah.
That money was ours.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Because I decided I'll never take a loan in my lifetime. We took it once. We bought a flat. So I took a loan from the bank and I took loan against our gold. And in the first instance, I returned all the loans and took a oath that I'll never take a loan for anything. And today I'm sitting very peaceful. I got no liability. God has been very kind. And you can see us sitting together smiling.
Amazing. That's the goal. This is the aspiration, right? For everybody, whether they're starting to get married, starting dating, or who are people like us who are still a few years away from retirement, but still, this is the aspiration. This is what we want.
We did miss, traveling in our earlier days. But then army kept us going places. So even if they were not those nice touristy places, we still changed our homes and somewhere meeting new people, seeing new kind of different languages, people or whatever, those changes did help us maybe.
And enjoy the best of India, right? Like nobody else gets to see that part of India.
Yes. Our outings, going to restaurants was our club or our mess.
We didn't even eat out. Yes, we didn't eat out.
So if you have not paid the mess bill of 1 month, you can pay together in the next month.
Yeah, that way we were fortunate.
We were very fortunate.
So we are talking about all the pros of army. It's a very difficult life. So I want people to know that army life is, it sounds great, but it also comes at great perils. Like these places we are talking about of not going out. It's not because we didn't want to. It's because there was no place to go.
There was
nothing.
There was no money.
Yeah, you're right.
There was no money also.
There was no money, but Ani, even if we had money, there was no place to go.
There was no place to go.
No place.
Where will you go at Leh? Where will you go in Delhi?
For that matter, for our children's birthdays, I am sure even for your birthdays, Sangeeta would have done that. We never even had good bakeries. We had to
do cakes were at home.
Make cake, and even if sometimes, I have sometimes made halwa and inverted it and told children this is cake. So we have had our share of, sometimes, one was so heartbroken कि इतना भी नहीं कर सकते हम. But then we could not.
Yeah, like even 2006, actually, I was in second year college, and I think that is the first time I ever bought a pair of branded jeans. Like I never wore branded clothes before.
Absolutely.
So I think that's why I want people to know that, yes, by God's grace, Army has been incredibly kind, and because of the services. And this is because of your 35 years of service, that you're.
Yeah, it's not one day's effort.
It's not one day's effort. So I want people to not, know that there's a lot of service and dedication that has gone behind this, and a lot of difficulty. But no, thank you. I think this is really helpful. And again, I think for me, this is very aspirational. And I hope, people who are going to watch this, it's also aspirational from that perspective that there's so much more to life, than, yes, it's about enjoying life in the current moment. It's that balance. It's about delayed gratification a little bit also, that you will get everything. Just have to plan for everything in life.
Yeah. No, I also want to add on that, when you get married, invest in your marriage also, as we invest in a lot of things. So first 3, 4, 5 years, don't expect the best of it. At this age also, if you tell us, we go to a holiday, both of us together, the feelings are same. It's not that when you were younger, you were more in love. In fact, when you are at this age and you're so satisfied by what you did, love remains. So ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि तभी जाना है, बस अभी जाना है. So I think 3, 4, 5 years you can invest, you can save, and then you can plan your holidays and enjoyments.
One suggestion for everyone: if you really want to see the country free of cost, join army. At 19 move.
100%. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Uncle. Thank you so much, Auntie, for joining, and thank you for sharing your insights. Yeah, this is very helpful.